What's up, guys? It's your boy MCA coming at you with a hot tutorial speed run. You know how we do. So this is to catch everybody up with Super Pitfall. There's been some new strats that have pushed the game down to under 5 minutes, and it's pretty much anybody can get it. So I wanted to show everybody kind of the new strats of what they can do, so you yourself can get a sub 5 in Super Pitfall, which you should go do. Now, prerequisite for this is to watch the White Hat tutorial. It goes through all the basics, a lot of optional things, backup strats, things like that. It's a great tutorial. It's 20 minutes long. It'll definitely help you get through the run, which is the most important thing, to get comfortable with it. The stuff I'm going to talk about here are just the new things that to put on top of this. So watch that first, then come back to this. Okay, so let's take a look at the different things, or just some new strats or new things to consider while you're doing this run. The beginning, basically the same thing. There is one little moment here with this snake. You can shoot this snake if you want. It's really fun, and it might save a few frames, we think. So one thing is, when you get to this wall, so this was talked about, I'm sure, in the White Hat tutorial, but you want to do a neutral jump from here that will put you in the right position where your character is very close to the wall. His nose will be basically touching the wall. That lets you only get 2 clips into the wall instead of 3. So it saves you 1 clip. Very important. The other thing is that I recommend doing is, when you get to the wall, start jumping against the wall. And I'll just show you an example of why you should be doing that. So here I get to the wall, I start jumping, boom, I'm already clipped into the wall and I'm already jumping. If I didn't jump there, I would be waiting at the bottom of this wall, trying to react to it. So with that, I clipped in at the top of my jump. That saves like a half a second because I'm already jumping and going up. So when you get to the wall, just jump. There's no reason not to. You might clip in at the top of your jump. It's all superstitions anyway. It doesn't hurt you to be jumping. And I clip in at the peak of my jump more than anywhere else. So if anything, it's helpful. All right, so we're going to watch Apollo's run for a little bit here, just to go through some things. One thing just to mention with this diamond, there is a diamond glitch that you can get where when you pick up that diamond, you don't get an extra life. You'll see it when you die at the bottom of this elevator. If you only have 1 life remaining, that means you got the diamond glitch. It's kind of a plague because it's hard to clear that diamond glitch. You might get it on subsequent runs. One thing you can do is, if you notice that you have it, pick up some gold in that specific run. It will give you the extra life. You'll be back on track, although it kind of ruins the run to pick up the gold. But go ahead and do that and reset, and you should be set to go. As long as you have your NES powered on, you're good to go from that point forward. It'll save you a lot of frustration. So if you ever get the diamond glitch, grab a thing of gold, reset, continue as normal. Be confident you won't see it again. All right, so let's watch Apollo do this here. This elevator. One thing I recommend is have some kind of visual cue on when you're going to do this jump. So usually most of us look at the top here where this gray, when it disappears, that's roughly when your elevator is going to despawn. Depending where you're at on the screen here, how deep your head is into the ground, is how high you should jump. You can save a little bit of time. If there's a lot of your body showing, you want to jump higher. If you're really deep into it here, you can do a shorter jump. So you see here, Apollo does kind of a mid-level jump. So he saved a little bit of time, because if you would have jumped higher up, obviously that wastes time. Okay, so the next thing we could talk about here that's been a new development is the underball strat. So if you recall the old runs, we'd always wait on that first set of fireballs to come out of the first pit. That's still an option, but now we also have this other option, which is to go under those first ones, which is obviously faster because you don't slow down at all. The best we know is it all comes down to this second jump here. So when you grab this ladder right here, you can see he does a full jump off of this platform. A full jump. Touches the ceiling with his fist as he goes up. As far as we know, that's the best way to get this pattern. When you come here, when he grabs this one, again, when you get off this ladder, you're going to take just a couple steps, like hardly any space at all, a few pixels, and then you're going to do another full jump. Okay. Don't immediately jump off the ladder. Give it a few pixels. You'll have better luck, I promise you. Okay, and then when you get up here, you want to do another jump here. You want to jump as late as possible, and you want to do kind of a mid jump. Don't do a high jump. Don't do too short of a jump or you'll land back into the lava. Just do a mid jump. And if you do it right, you'll pass right underneath those. You do have to jump and shoot that meatball. That's one of the changes if you're there, because you're so far ahead that meatball's going to be in your face. Okay? If that can be a little scary, it doesn't always work, and it saves, let's say it saves just a little under half a second. Your other option is you can do it this way, which is get the old pattern. And so again, I'll just show you. This first jump doesn't really matter how you do it. It's the second jump. You'll see that I do a short jump off of here. That's going to set the other pattern. So I do the same thing, take a couple steps, do a long jump, and now you'll see here, this is a different ball. Now you can see this, so you can anticipate. This isn't always consistent. So you may get this pattern when you were expecting the underballs pattern. If you do, you see that there's basically nothing here. That means you got the underball, the waiting pattern. What you want to do is just stop here, wait. And you see this almost kind of come through this gray spot here. You can do a jump and you're safe. And you can tell you're a little bit behind where the other one is because here's this meatball here. You don't have to jump forward. It's actually really far in front of you. Okay, so like I said, it's about a half a second. It depends on what your risk averse tolerance is. You can lose runs to try to go under these balls. If you don't want to lose runs over a half a second, you can do it this way. Otherwise, follow this pattern that Apollo does here. Now, the other thing to talk about is this entire stretch, you want to be holding up and left, okay, on the D-pad. And the reason for that is when you grab the ladder, your character shifts. So let's see if we can show this here. Okay, so I'm going to do it here. I'm going to go frame by frame. Now watch what happens here. Like he's coming up to the ladder. Boom. You see that? Like Harry moves and grabs the ladder without the screen shifting. And now when he comes up the ladder and gets off the ladder, he's actually further forward on the screen. Now, if you would put something on the screen, kind of like a marker or whatever, you would see that his whole body is shifted forward several pixels. Okay? And you want to do that at all three ladders. And if you do that at all three ladders, when you get to the end, we'll go ahead and go to the end here. When you get to the moai, Harry's going to be so far forward here that he's actually into this next room closer to this spawn. So when he spawns, he's right here. He spawned right to the right of this pit. If you don't, now sometimes you may just, either you grab the ladder wrong or the game, just bad luck. It doesn't always give you the same pixel shifts. You may get the longer, be back in the hallway. You got to walk the walk. And that loses a lot of time. So you really don't want that. So if you just hold up and left the whole time, you'll probably have good luck to get it most of the time. Not every time, and it won't always be your fault, unfortunately. One thing you can do here too is you can buffer your A jump in the black screen here. And then the second you come out, you're already jumping and you land right in front of the ladder. So you won't have to react or lose any time. One problem is if you don't know if you got the good spawn or the bad spawn, you may accidentally walk into the pit or something. So just buffer jump and you're all set. All right, now to one of the bigger cool strats here, which is that we now have a new balloon route. So the first thing you want to do is when you get off of this ladder, you want to jump immediately. You want to jump, when you're jumping, the screen is not scrolling up, and you want to keep that screen not scrolled up. So you can see here, he'll jump. You want to do a little jump where you're still inside the platform, and then another jump to get on top of the platform, and then jump up and grab the balloon. Let's see that here. Boom, boom, grabs the balloon. And you can see when he grabs the balloon, the screen is not scrolled up yet. This balloon's cut off at the top. He's way up on the screen. That's what you want. So the enemies don't spawn in and don't get in your way. If the screen scrolls up, do not do this route. It's not worth it. Do the old route. Okay. So learn the old route as a backup if you want to be able to complete runs. If you don't care about completing runs, you're just going to reset, then don't worry about it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to line yourself up with the screen up above. And this platform here with this ladder on it actually aligns with that same spot. So you can use that as reference. So when you grab the balloon, move left and move yourself close to the front line of this. Not past it, because then your balloon will hit the architecture. But anywhere where you're halfway or less, you'll be set. So you can see he goes right about halfway. Now as you come up, you'll see the platform come here. Basically, as soon as you see this gray, you're safe and you can press left. If you want to wait until your helmet kind of touches the gray, that's fine too. Anywhere in there, as soon as you see the gray, you're safe to go left. Hold left. So this bird here is the reason why we have the screen scrolled up like that. Here, I'll make the screen bigger here. Because that bird will be in your way if the screen is scrolled up. Okay. Now you want to align yourself with this little platform between the spikes and start holding up again. You can hold up the whole time if you want. You can hold up and press left and you'll move left only. And when you let go of left, you'll keep moving up. It's up to you if you want to alternate your buttons. People have different preferences. Okay. And when you move up here, you can come up with your own visual cue. What mine is I look up this foot that's lower down. I don't even know if that's his right or his left foot. There's no way to tell. But when his foot passes this bottom level of bricks, you're good to press left. If you press left too soon, the balloon will pop right here. You'll clip into this platform, which you don't want. So you can see he went just a couple pixels over it. You have quite a bit of room. You can go all the way up to the top of the brick and be fine. You have more room than you think. It's much better to be late than early. Be patient. Hold left again. Now you're holding left and you're going to clip into this wall. So when you clip into this wall, be holding A and you will start jumping. So you're going to be holding left because you're holding left for the balloon to bring you into the wall, and you're going to be holding A. So the second it clips, you're already going to be jumping. You get an immediate jump. Now, right here is a scorpion coming. If you just hold A and start jumping, you will jump into the scorpion and die. So you have two options here. One, you can wait. You can do a little short hop here, wait for the scorpion to bounce off the wall and go. You lose about a half a second, super safe, super easy, and then just start jumping. If you want to be more gutsy, you can shoot the scorpion. The only problem with shooting the scorpion is you have to time it right, but the bigger thing is you do have to also turn around. So to turn around, you can tap to the right and turn around. It's a little dangerous. You could accidentally pop out of either the top up here or down here. You could pop out of the wall. If you press right when your body is inside of this platform, then you obviously won't, but it's a much smaller window. The other option is if you are holding up on your D-pad, when you jump, you will turn around for free. So that's an easier way to do it if you want to turn around, I find, because it's very safe. So you're holding left to get into the wall and you'll jump, you'll be facing left. When you hold A again, you can buffer jumps in this game. When you hold A again, continue to hold up on the D-pad and you'll turn around. As soon as you turn around, you can let go of the D-pad. It doesn't matter anymore. And then be ready to shoot. You shoot right about the apex of your jump. As soon as you shoot him, hold left, keep jumping. If you left him alive, so be it. It's all good. All right. So that's the new balloon strat. Probably stays about a second and a half. And like I said, if you shoot the scorpion, this saves another half second. All these points are kind of important. If you don't shoot the scorpion, you can shoot something else, whatever. But you can't shoot a bunch of things that you don't care about because you will end up losing. You'll gain a life at the end, and you don't want to do that. All right. Now, next strat is right after when you jump into the bird, after that long clip there, you're going to spawn up at the top here. And what the old route was, you just walk to the right, jump over kill some frogs, jump over a spider, go straight down. This is a little bit faster to go this route. Reload this player. Hold on. Okay. So we'll go this route. We'll go down the very first ladder. Short drop to this one. Jump again. Fall 2. Okay, that wasn't the best example. What you want to do is when you fall, you want to land on the one up here and then jump down to this one here. Looks like he was one off, so he jumped down here. Now this is fine because this is a little tricky where it's very easy to miss this platform. So you want to land on this platform and then go down, just kind of zigzag down. If you accidentally miss it like this, totally fine. You can just jump this gap and then drop down on the next one. You're right back where you normally would be. He dropped down here, he shouldn't have, but easy solve as well. This, you don't want the gold because the gold gives you points, but the hitbox of the gold is only the front bars. So jump, you can land anywhere to the on the right half of the gold, you won't pick it up, which is what he does. You can see he touches the gold there, doesn't give it to him. Now we're right back on the same route. Okay, another new strat here. We go across this. One thing I don't think that the White Hat tutorial really talks about this. What I recommend is when you jump here, hold left. As long as you don't clip into this wall and you hold left, you can buffer a full jump when you land and you'll clear the gold, and you can buffer a full jump again right there and you'll make it over. So you can make it through here. That way you'll never pick up this gold. If you clip into the wall, you'll be too close. When you jump, you need to kind of turn around a little bit, which is what he did there to try to keep from doing that. So as you know, there's a scorpion down here ready to chase you, which can be kind of tight on the turnaround. We do have a way now to despawn that scorpion. You just need to go past this ladder, and he's going to do that here. So you can see he just barely goes past this ladder. If you go a little further, you'll be more certain of it, but you want to pass if you pass this ladder by like one tile, so maybe where the second brick is, and come back, that scorpion will be gone, and you can just leisurely go pick it up, and you don't have to worry about the turnaround. Another makes it much easier. It does waste time, up to a half a second to do that. So if you're just going for a sub 5, I would say waste a half second. You'll never lose a run to the scorpion. Makes it really easy. So he only barely went past that ladder. So he got the scorpion is still here. Okay. But it's worth barely going past this ladder for the reasons you're about to see. So when he comes here and he grabs this, so there's your quick turnaround. It's still totally doable. Now when he comes here, you can see normally there's a piranha right here. Like right when you get maybe right around this spot here, you see a piranha swimming across. Here he doesn't see it, which means the piranha is to the left here, and he can die to that piranha instead. So you'll see he has it. He can drop, he can walk straight off. Do not press right, walk straight off and press down on the D-pad. Once you press down a couple pixels, you can hold left if you get there. So he got there so fast, he could have held left here for a couple pixels. So if he would have held down, he would have died sooner. So when you do that, you'll spawn up on this block here instead. And that is actually faster than going up this ladder, jumping over the scorpion, avoiding the scorpion and dying to the eel. It's faster. And he set that up by going past that ladder slightly. So if you do that to despawn the scorpion, you're also setting this up to be a possible thing. Super Pitfall is weird. It's not always going to work. Okay. Sometimes that piranha is going to respawn and it's going to be coming across this right side as you walk here, which means you got the slow piranha. You can still drop off here and die to it, but you have to wait for it to swim from the right. You cannot swim right or you'll spawn up here. So you can hand drop off and wait. If you drop off and wait, you're going to lose like 3/4 of a second. So not great if you're going for sub 5. I would recommend going the old route if you see the piranhas in the bad space. But if you want to be really safe, you can just drop down and lose that little bit of time. Okay? But this is pretty awesome if you do get that, because it is faster and it's way easier. You don't have to deal with that scorpion at all. Okay. One other thing I wanted to show, just as a kind of a tip on this ladder clip, is right there. When you come up this ladder, if you walk off the edge right here, and then you buffer a jump, so like as soon as you walk off, hold A up and left to grab this ladder. People have had luck with that as far as being consistent, because you're always going to be kind of getting the same jump, grabbing the ladder in the same place, and maybe you can get more of a rhythm down of when to do your down up to do the ladder clip. So just a tip that may help you be more consistent, because you're always grabbing it the same way. Some people have had some luck with that. And look at that. Whitman Price, he doesn't need luck. All right. The last one here is probably the biggest time save of the run. This is something you definitely want to do no matter what. Call it the Crit Warp, found by Crit Rocket Runner. So it's the same route as before, where you're going to drop down here, but we're going to fall one platform further. So instead of holding left right there, we're going to wait and drop here, which is great because look how much more space you have. It makes it way easier. So hold left, land on the platform lower than before. You're going to see this skull guy, jump over him. Move yourself all the way as far left as you can to feel comfortable. You want to despawn this skull guy as soon as possible. If you say where I'm standing right here, if I stopped here, he actually shoots again, which wastes a second. You don't want him to shoot a second time. So walk as far left as you're comfortable with. So I walk, basically where you get some black in between you and the bricks there. And so he already despawned, and now he's going to respawn, turn around, and shoot. When he shoots, boom, you want to jump and die to his projectile. You actually have a lot of space here. You don't even have to go more than halfway across. It's probably like a third of the way across that you'll get the good spawn. But what I would recommend is you don't need to be super exact. As soon as he opens his mouth, you can go ahead and jump and then just twist around and land on it. You have a lot of space that way. You're not going to waste too much time. And when you do that, you actually respawn on the ladder. So now we skipped all that section down below, which is fantastic. So now we're right here on the ladder. Some people will mash A to get a jump here. I think you could lose time, you could gain time. It's very minimal, like a couple frames. It's not a big deal. One thing about doing it this way is the spear guy at the top of this ladder is always going to be going left, which is slow. So you want to turn him around. Now there is a way to turn it around. I came up with this, so we call it the MCA Shuffle. When you get to the top of this ladder, if you stutter on the ladder to let go of the D-pad, up on the D-pad for even just one frame, and then press it again, he will turn around. So we'll just see it here. Boom, you saw me kind of like stutter a little bit. My personal cue, what I do is I count that right hand movement, and on the fourth one, I do it. So if I go back here, if you want to count along with me, look at his right hand and we'll count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's when I did it. If you're more of a visual cue person, it is when you see these, it depends what your overscan is. If you're doing an emulator, it's way easier. But when you see these green platforms here, that's when you do it. Preferably when it's like when you see the bottom one right meeting with the top one. It's a pretty big window, but you don't want to go so far as the top one is visible because then the enemy's already spawned in. And you can, if you're totally not sure, you can tap it a couple times. You don't have to just do it once. You can go tap, tap, tap really fast, and that'll be sure to hit the right point. But with this crit warp, it makes it pretty simple because it's a very short window. You can just count. If you do the jump, you need to count a little differently. I think people count 3 arm pumps instead of 4 or something, but you can come up with your own timing on that. Just practice it. Okay. So he's turned around. We don't have to wait on him. We just got to go up here and finish the run. Now, before we would die here, now we don't because we did the crit warp. So normally we would run into this guy, but we don't have any lives left. We're on our last life. This skull dude here is going to shoot his projectile, so we want to wait for it. You can cut this close, as close as you want to be comfortable cutting it. So once it's cleared, usually like once you hear it or once you see his mouth close, you're good to go. You can jump up to the right. It's probably a little better to jump to the left. Just you'll see why here in a second, but you can jump either way and you will live. Ideally, you don't jump immediately because the screen needs to scroll up. Right here where Rhonda is, you can see she's a different color. It takes like a full second before she spawns in and you can pick her up. So if the frame you get off the ladder, if you jump, the screen won't scroll right away and you might walk past her and not pick her up. So it's better just give it a couple frames so you don't miss her right at the end. That would be too tragic. Okay, so we pick her up. And then when you get to this ladder here, you just hold down and you land on the chicken. If you're fast enough, if you had good timing, good grabs and everything, you'll land on the chicken and it's over. If not, you'll be just behind it. So be ready to hold left and chase the chicken and catch him. Usually you'll catch him before this ladder here and you'll be all set. It's very important, especially if you shoot the scorpion, that you do not die to both enemies. You can die to one enemy or the other enemy, but not both, or you will get an extra life and it will add 10 plus seconds to your run and ruin it. So be really careful there. Ideally, you just drop down, get this chicken. So all these strats that we've talked about together will get you with a good wall a low 450 pace. So you got a lot of time to spare, so you can play safe and get a sub 5. If you get a good wall, no problem. The other thing I didn't talk about is that moai right after the wall can also despawn. It can start moving forward and then just moves out of your way magically. So there's always that too. That could save up to 3 seconds. That's another possibility of a dice roll that could save you some time. But all that being said, those are all the new strats from fall 2025 and January 2026 to incorporate in your run and get a sub 5. Best of luck to you. Join the club. We've got a Discord if you want to join it. Come hang out, get in that club, and join us. Have a good one.